or cryonics preserves humans or animals at extremely low temperatures. The goal is to pause biological processes, stopping aging and decay. Future technology may revive these bodies, extending their lifespan. Cryosleep is based on cryogenics, the study of extremely low temperatures. At these temperatures, biological processes slow dramatically. Cells enter a state of suspended animation. Certain species of frogs survive freezing by producing natural antifreeze. Wood frogs can survive with 2/3 of their body water frozen. They endure harsh winters, emerging unscathed when temperatures rise. Scientists hope to replicate these properties for human use. The challenge is preventing ice crystal formation, which damages cells. Overcoming these hurdles could make cryosleep a reality. It could revolutionize space travel and offer a second chance at life for terminally ill patients. Cryosleep, for all its promise, faces significant hurdles. The primary challenge lies in preventing cellular damage during freezing and thawing. Imagine a grape turning into a raisin. That's what happens to cells when they freeze. Water expands as it freezes, rupturing cell membranes. Scientists are researching cryoprotectants to prevent this. Think of them as anti-freeze for the human body. These aim to prevent ice crystals, protecting cell structures. Imagine a future where humans can travel to distant stars. Cryosleep could be the key to unlocking interstellar exploration, allowing astronauts to embark on journeys that would otherwise span multiple lifetimes. Instead of aging decades during a single trip, astronauts could be placed in a state of suspended animation. They would awaken at their destination, years later, ready to explore new worlds. This technology could also revolutionize space tourism. Imagine embarking on a cosmic cruise, sleeping through the vast distances between planets and waking up to breathtaking views of alien landscapes. The potential applications extend beyond space travel. Cryosleep could be used to preserve endangered species, creating a genetic ark for future generations. It could also be used to transport organs for transplantation, eliminating the time constraints that often prevent life-saving surgeries. Section 5. The gift of time in medicine. The medical applications of cryosleep are particularly compelling. Imagine a world where we can pause time for critically ill patients. Cryosleep could offer a lifeline to individuals suffering from incurable diseases. By preserving their bodies, we could buy time for medical science to catch up, developing cures that could one day revive them. Cancer patients, for example, could opt for cryopreservation before undergoing aggressive treatments, preserving their healthy cells while the cancerous ones are targeted. Those with degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's could choose to pause their decline, hoping for future therapies that could restore their cognitive function. Cryosleep could also revolutionize organ transplantation. Instead of racing against the clock to transport organs, they could be cryopreserved, creating a global organ bank. This would eliminate geographical barriers and increase the availability of life-saving transplants. While still in its early stages, the potential of cryosleep in medicine is vast. It represents a paradigm shift in our approach to healthcare, offering a bridge between the limitations of today's medicine and the possibilities of tomorrow's cures. Section 6. Waking up to a new world. Waking up in a different time is both exhilarating and terrifying. Imagine the cultural shock, the technological advancements, the sheer unfamiliarity of a world you no longer recognize. Would you be greeted with open arms or viewed as a relic of the past? The psychological implications of cryosleep are profound. What would it mean for our sense of identity, our place in the world? Section 7. The ethical considerations of frozen dreams. The ethical dilemmas surrounding cryosleep are numerous and complex. One of the most pressing concerns is equity of access. Would cryosleep become a luxury reserved for the wealthy, further widening the gap between the haves and have-nots? Or could it be made accessible to all, ensuring that the benefits of this technology are shared equitably? Another ethical consideration is consent. Can someone truly consent to be revived in a future they cannot possibly comprehend? What if the future holds unforeseen risks or dangers? What if the world they wake up to is vastly different from the one they left behind, filled with challenges they are ill-equipped to face? The ethical implications of cryosleep extend to the very definition of life and death. If we can pause and restart biological processes, what does it mean to be alive? Does cryopreservation blur the line between life and death, creating a new category of existence somewhere in between? These are not easy questions to answer, As we venture further into the uncharted territory of cryosleep, we must proceed with caution, engaging in open and honest discussions about the ethical implications of this potentially life-altering technology. Section 8. Cryosleep in popular culture. Cryosleep has long been a staple of science fiction, capturing our imaginations and fueling our dreams of time travel and immortality. From classic novels like The Door into Summer by Robert Heinlein to blockbuster films like Alien and Interstellar, cryosleep has served as a narrative device to explore themes of time, identity, and the human condition. In many stories, cryosleep is portrayed as a means of escaping a dying Earth or reaching distant planets. It's a way to bridge the gap between the limitations of human lifespans and the vastness of space and time. However, these fictional accounts often highlight the potential pitfalls of cryosleep. Characters awaken to find themselves in dystopian futures betrayed by those who promise them a better tomorrow. They grapple with the psychological toll of time travel, the disorientation of waking up in a world that has moved on without them. These fictional explorations, while entertaining, serve as cautionary tales, reminding us that the pursuit of technological advancements must be tempered with ethical considerations. They urge us to consider the potential consequences of our actions, both for ourselves and for future generations. Section 9. The unforeseen consequences of time travel. The idea of time travel, even in the form of cryosleep, raises a host of potential paradoxes and unintended consequences. What happens if we alter the past or disrupt the natural order of time? What if cryopreserved individuals are revived into a world ill-prepared for their arrival, creating social or ecological imbalances? The butterfly effect, a concept from chaos theory, suggests that even small changes in initial conditions can have profound and unpredictable consequences over time. Imagine a world where cryopreserved individuals from different eras are revived simultaneously. The clash of cultures, ideologies, and values could have far-reaching and unforeseen consequences. Furthermore, the prospect of extending human lifespans raises questions about population control, resource allocation, and the very definition of a generation. If people are no longer bound by the natural limits of aging, how will society adapt? These are questions that science fiction has grappled with for decades, and they are questions that we, as a society, must confront as the possibility of cryosleep moves closer to reality. Extending human lifespans. We must ensure that this technology, if realized, is used responsibly and ethically for the benefit of all humankind. Section 11. A final thought, our responsibility to the future. The pursuit of cryosleep is ultimately a reflection of our desire to transcend our limitations, to push beyond the boundaries of time and mortality. It's a testament to human ingenuity and our insatiable curiosity about the world around us. But as we stand on the cusp of this potentially transformative technology, we must proceed with caution and a deep sense of responsibility. The decisions we make today will shape the future of cryosleep and its impact on generations to come. We must ensure that cryosleep, if it becomes a reality, is used ethically and equitably, not as a tool for exacerbating existing inequalities or disrupting the delicate balance of life on Earth. The future of cryosleep is not just a scientific endeavor, it's a shared responsibility that demands careful consideration, open dialogue, and a commitment to using this powerful technology for the betterment of humanity. The desire to transcend our mortal limits has been a recurring theme. It's a testament suspended animation naturally, bringing us closer to the possibility of inducing a state of the responsibilities it entails. The idea of suspended animation may seem like pure science fiction, but the science behind it is very real. This concept, often depicted in movies and literature, has fascinated humanity for decades. Imagine being able to pause life, to halt the aging process, and to wake up in a future where diseases that are currently incurable have been eradicated. It sounds like a dream, but scientists are working tirelessly to turn this dream into reality. At its core, suspended animation is about slowing down the body's metabolic rate to a bare minimum. This process involves reducing the body's energy consumption to the lowest possible level, thereby extending the time a person can survive without food or water. It's a delicate balance requiring precise control over the body's functions. This means reducing the body's need for oxygen and nutrients, effectively putting it in a state of hibernation. In this state, the body's processes slow down significantly, mimicking the natural hibernation seen in some animals. This state of suspended animation could be crucial in medical emergencies, space travel, and even extending human life. Cryogenics, the most well-known form of suspended animation, takes this a step further by freezing the body to ultra-low temperatures. This method aims to preserve the body in a near-perfect state, halting all biological processes. The idea is to keep the body in this frozen state until future medical advancements can revive the person and potentially cure them of any ailments they had before being frozen. The idea is to preserve the body in a state of suspended animation until medical technology advances enough to revive the person and potentially cure them of any ailments. This concept has sparked both hope and controversy, as it challenges our understanding of life and death. While the potential benefits are enormous, the ethical and technical challenges are equally significant. However, cryogenics is still in its early stages, and the long-term effects of freezing and thawing a human body are still unknown. The process is fraught with uncertainties, and many questions remain unanswered. How will the body react to being frozen for extended periods? Can we ensure that the person will be revived without any damage or loss of function? Scientists are exploring different methods to achieve suspended animation, including inducing hypothermia. By lowering the body's temperature, they can slow down metabolic processes, buying valuable time in critical medical situations. This technique is already being used in some emergency medical procedures, showing promise for broader applications. Using chemical compounds to slow down metabolism, researchers are experimenting with various substances that can safely reduce the body's metabolic rate. These compounds could potentially be used to induce a state of suspended animation without the need for extreme temperatures, and even manipulating the body's genetic makeup. By understanding and altering the genes responsible for metabolic processes, scientists hope to create a controlled state of suspended animation. This genetic approach could offer a more precise and less invasive method of achieving the desired state. One promising area of research involves studying animals that naturally hibernate, such as bears and squirrels. These animals have evolved to survive long periods of inactivity and extreme conditions, providing valuable insights into how suspended animation might be achieved in humans. By understanding the biological mechanisms that allow these animals to survive extreme conditions, scientists hope to unlock the secrets of suspended animation in humans. This research could lead to breakthroughs in medical science, offering new ways to treat injuries, diseases, and even extend human life. However, the challenges are immense. The path to achieving reliable suspended animation is filled with scientific, technical, and ethical hurdles. Each step forward brings new questions and complexities that must be addressed. Freezing can cause ice crystals to form within cells, damaging their delicate structures. This damage can be irreversible, posing a significant challenge to the viability of cryogenic preservation. Rewarming the body safely and effectively is another major hurdle. The process must be carefully controlled to avoid further damage, and current techniques are still far from perfect. And even if we manage to overcome these technical challenges, there's the question of whether the human brain can withstand the trauma of being frozen and thawed without suffering irreparable damage. The brain is incredibly complex and sensitive, and any damage could have profound implications for the person's identity and cognitive functions. The journey to mastering suspended animation is long and arduous, but the potential rewards make it a pursuit worth undertaking. The human body is a complex and delicate machine. While the prospect of suspending its functions is alluring, it also comes with a myriad of potential risks. One of the most significant challenges is the potential for cell damage during the freezing and thawing process. When water inside cells freezes, it expands, forming ice crystals that can puncture cell membranes and disrupt critical cellular structures. This damage can be widespread, affecting organs and tissues throughout the body. While scientists are developing cryoprotectant solutions to minimize ice formation, the risk of cellular damage remains a significant concern. Another risk is the potential for organ damage. The heart, lungs, and brain are particularly vulnerable to the stress of being cooled and rewarmed. During the cooling process, blood flow slows, which can deprive organs of oxygen and nutrients. Rewarming can also be problematic, as blood vessels may constrict or dilate unevenly, leading to tissue damage. Furthermore, the long-term effects of suspended animation on the human body are largely unknown. It is unclear whether prolonged periods of suspended animation could accelerate aging, increase the risk of cancer, or have other unforeseen consequences. Until we have a better understanding of these risks, the prospect of using suspended animation for extended periods remains a gamble with unpredictable outcomes. Imagine waking up decades or even centuries in the future, a stranger in a world vastly different from the one you left behind. The very air you breathe, the sights and sounds around you, everything would be unfamiliar. The world you once knew has evolved, and you are now a relic of the past, thrust into a future that has moved on without you. The psychological impact of such an experience could be profound. The mind, accustomed to a certain reality, would struggle to comprehend the new world. The sense of loss and alienation could be overwhelming as you grapple with the realization that everything you once held dear is now a distant memory. The world you knew, the people you loved, the very fabric of your reality would be gone, replaced by a future that is both alien and familiar. The memories of your past life would haunt you as you try to find your place in a world that has moved on. The sense of disconnection from your own history could lead to a profound identity crisis. The disorientation and culture shock of waking up in a future time could be overwhelming. The rapid pace of technological advancement and societal change would be difficult to comprehend. You would feel like a stranger in your own world, struggling to understand the new norms and values that have emerged in your absence. Imagine grappling with advanced technologies, unfamiliar social norms, and the loss of everything you once knew. The simple act of communication could become a challenge as language and social cues have evolved. The isolation and loneliness of being unable to connect with others on a fundamental level could be devastating. The potential for psychological trauma is significant, and individuals emerging from suspended animation would require extensive counseling and support to adapt to their new reality. Therapists would need to be specially trained to address the unique challenges faced by these individuals, helping them to navigate the complexities of their new world and find a sense of belonging. Moreover, there's the question of identity. The person you were before entering suspended animation may no longer exist in the same way. The passage of time and the changes in the world around you could fundamentally alter your sense of self. Who are you when you wake up in the future? Are you the same person who entered suspended animation, or has the passage of time fundamentally changed you? The struggle to reconcile your past identity with your new reality could be a significant psychological challenge. Are you the same person who entered suspended animation, or has the passage of time fundamentally changed you? The struggle to reconcile your past identity with your new reality could be a significant psychological challenge. The memories of your past life would be a constant reminder of what you have lost, and the uncertainty of your future could be a source of anxiety and fear. The experience of time is central to our sense of self, and disrupting that experience could have profound implications for our understanding of who we are. The linear progression of time that we are accustomed to would be shattered, leaving you to grapple with the disorienting effects of time travel. The ethical implications of subjecting individuals to such a disorienting and potentially traumatic experience are significant. The decision to undergo suspended animation should not be taken lightly, and the potential psychological impacts must be carefully considered. The responsibility of ensuring the well-being of these individuals lies with the scientists and ethicists who oversee the process. We must carefully consider the psychological well-being of those who might undergo suspended animation, ensuring they have the support and resources necessary to navigate the challenges of waking up in a future world. Support groups, counseling, and other resources would be essential in helping these individuals to adapt and find their place in a world that has changed beyond recognition. Biological tissues at ultra-low temperatures. The potential benefits of cryosleep are immense. Despite these challenges, the potential rewards make it a field worth pursuing. Imagine a future where for the future of humanity. The idea of cryosleep might seem like something out of a science fiction novel, but the science behind it is rooted in real-world principles. Cryonics, the practice of preserving individuals at extremely low temperatures with the hope of future revival, has fascinated scientists and the public alike for decades. The concept is simple yet profound. By halting biological processes, we might one day be able to pause life and restart it in the future. At its core, cryonics aims to slow down or even halt biological processes by drastically reducing body temperature. This reduction in temperature slows down cellular metabolism to a near standstill, effectively putting the body in a state of suspended animation. The goal is to preserve the body in such a way that it can be revived without any loss of function or information. This state of deep chill is achieved using cryoprotectants, special chemicals designed to prevent the formation of ice crystals which can damage delicate cell structures. Ice crystals can puncture cell membranes and disrupt the intricate machinery within cells, leading to irreversible damage. Cryoprotectants work by replacing water in the cells and forming a glass-like state, which prevents ice formation and preserves cellular integrity. Think of it like anti-freeze for your body, ensuring that your cells remain intact even at temperatures far below freezing. This analogy helps to understand how cryoprotectants function to protect the body during the freezing process. By preventing ice formation, cryoprotectants help maintain the structural integrity of cells and tissues, which is crucial for the potential revival process. Current cryonics research is focused on overcoming the significant hurdles that still stand in the way of safe and reversible cryopreservation. Researchers are constantly exploring new methods and technologies to improve the preservation process and minimize damage. This includes refining cryoprotectant formulas, developing better cooling techniques, and finding ways to repair any damage that occurs during the freezing and thawing processes. One of the biggest challenges is preventing irreparable damage to cells and tissues during the freezing and thawing processes. When cells are frozen, they can become dehydrated and suffer from mechanical stress, leading to damage that can be difficult to repair. Thawing, on the other hand, can cause thermal shock and further stress on the cells. Researchers are working on ways to mitigate these effects and ensure that cells remain viable after thawing. Another area of active research is the development of advanced nanotechnology. Nanotechnology holds the promise of repairing cellular damage at a molecular level, which could be a game changer for cryonics. By using tiny machines or nanobots, scientists hope to be able to fix any damage that occurs during the cryopreservation process, ensuring that the body can be revived in a healthy state. Scientists envision using tiny machines to repair any cellular damage that might occur during cryopreservation, ensuring the integrity of the body upon revival. These nanobots could potentially identify and fix damaged cells, remove harmful substances, and even restore lost functions. This level of precision and control could make the dream of cryonics a reality. While we haven't yet cracked the code to perfect human cryopreservation, the progress made in recent years is encouraging. Advances in cryoprotectant technology, cooling techniques, and nanotechnology are bringing us closer to the goal of safe and reversible cryopreservation. Each breakthrough brings new hope and excitement to the field, inspiring researchers to continue their efforts. Scientists have successfully frozen and revived simple organisms, such as worms and flies, demonstrating that it is possible to preserve and revive life at a basic level. These experiments provide valuable insights into the challenges and possibilities of cryonics, helping researchers to refine their techniques and develop new strategies for preserving more complex organisms. And research on larger animal organs is showing promise. By successfully preserving and reviving organs, scientists are gaining a better understanding of the factors that influence cryopreservation and revival. This research is crucial for developing methods that can be applied to whole organisms, including humans. The journey towards viable human cryosleep is long and fraught with challenges, but the pursuit of this groundbreaking technology continues to captivate the brightest minds in science. As researchers push the boundaries of what is possible, they are not only exploring the limits of cryonics, but also expanding our understanding of life, death, and the potential for revival. The future of cryonics holds many uncertainties, but the quest to unlock its secrets is a testament to human curiosity and ingenuity. Imagine waking up in a world completely alien to you. The language, the customs, the very fabric of society. all different from the life you once knew. This is the potential reality that awaits those who choose to be cryogenically frozen, a prospect that raises a myriad of psychological and emotional questions. The psychological impact of cryosleep is perhaps one of the most intriguing and complex aspects of this technology. Imagine the disorientation, the sense of displacement, of being a stranger in a strange land, even if that land is Earth at a future point in time. The world you wake up to could be vastly different from the one you left behind. Technological advancements might have reshaped society, cultural norms could have shifted, and the very environment you knew might be altered. This sense of temporal disconnect could lead to feelings of isolation, confusion, and even existential angst. Furthermore, the people you knew and loved would be long gone, replaced by future generations. The grief of losing everyone and everything familiar could be profound. Adapting to this new reality would require immense psychological resilience and a willingness to embrace the unknown. The psychological implications of cryosleep are multifaceted and warrant careful consideration. Addressing these mental and emotional challenges would be crucial to ensure the well-being of those who choose to undergo this life-altering procedure. Human connection is the bedrock of our existence. It is the invisible thread that binds us together, weaving a tapestry of shared experiences, emotions, and memories. It shapes our identities, provides us with love and support, and gives meaning to our lives. These connections are the foundation upon which we build our sense of self and community. But what happens to these connections in an age of cryosleep? As technology advances, the possibility of preserving oneself for the future becomes a reality. If individuals choose to undergo cryogenic preservation, they risk waking up in a future where their loved ones are long gone. The world they once knew may have changed beyond recognition. This separation from one's familiar social fabric presents a unique set of challenges. The sense of isolation and disconnection can be profound, as the familiar faces and places are replaced by an unfamiliar and possibly alien environment. Imagine waking up in a world where you know no one, where your family, friends, and colleagues have long since passed away. The emotional toll of such a scenario is hard to fathom. The grief and loneliness could be overwhelming. The loss of familiar social bonds and the realization that one is truly alone in a new era can be devastating. The emotional landscape of a cryosleep patient is fraught with challenges. The sense of loss and the struggle to find new connections in an unfamiliar world can lead to profound sadness and despair. Conversely, cryosleep could also alter the dynamics of existing relationships. The decision to undergo cryosleep is not just an individual choice, but one that affects loved ones as well. Couples may face the prospect of unequal lifespans, with one partner potentially outliving the other by centuries. This disparity can create a complex emotional and social dynamic. The social and emotional implications of such vast discrepancies in lifespans are difficult to predict. The surviving partner may struggle with the passage of time and the changes it brings. The need for emotional support and counseling becomes paramount. The surviving partner may need to navigate the complexities of a world that has moved on without them. However, this doesn't mean that relationships have no place in a future with cryosleep. Humans are incredibly adaptable, and new forms of relationships and social structures would likely emerge in a society where cryosleep is commonplace. Support networks for cryosleep patients, designed to ease their transition into a new world, would be essential. These networks could provide the emotional and social support needed to navigate the challenges of a new era. Perhaps future societies will develop novel ways to preserve and share memories, allowing people to maintain a sense of connection with their loved ones across time. Memory-sharing technology could bridge the gap between past and present. The ability to access and share memories could provide a sense of continuity and connection, even in a world where time itself can be manipulated. Cryosleep challenges our traditional notions of relationships and forces us to rethink the nature of human connection in a future where time itself can be manipulated. The bonds we form may need to adapt to new realities. As we venture into this brave new world, the resilience of the human spirit and our capacity for adaptation will be tested. The future of relationships in a cryogenic age will depend on our ability to innovate and find new ways to connect. The journey ahead is uncertain, but one thing remains clear: the essence of human connection will continue to evolve, shaping and being shaped by the technologies of tomorrow. Imagine waking up a century from now. What would the world look like? Would soaring skyscrapers touch the clouds? Would cars fly? Would diseases be a distant memory? It's a question that sits at the heart of cryonics, the practice of preserving human bodies at ultra-low temperatures with the hope of future revival. Is it a ticket to immortality or a futile attempt to cheat death? Cryonics is a gamble, a bet on the relentless march of science and the enduring power of hope. Some dismiss it as a fantasy, a modern-day mummification with no guarantee of success. Others see it as a daring leap into the unknown, a chance to experience the wonders of a future yet unwritten. Let's step away from the realm of science fiction and delve into the real stories of individuals who chose cryonic preservation. Cryonics is often misunderstood. It's not about freezing people solid, it's about using extreme cold to slow down biological processes, essentially putting life on pause. Think of it as a deeply chilled hibernation, a way to buy time until medical technology catches up with our mortality. The process is complex and delicate. It involves replacing bodily fluids with cryoprotective agents to prevent ice crystal formation, which can damage cells and tissues. The body is then cooled to extremely low temperatures, typically using liquid nitrogen, and placed in a specialized storage vessel. Yet, for some, the potential reward outweighs the risks. They see cryonics as a long shot, a slim chance at a second life in a future where death may no longer be the end. Bob was a man of science, a physicist who dedicated his life to unraveling the mysteries of the universe. When diagnosed with aggressive cancer, he viewed his situation with a scientist's eye, analyzing the odds, exploring every possible option. Traditional medicine offered little hope. His prognosis was grim, a ticking clock that cast a shadow over his remaining days. It was then that he stumbled upon cryonics. He recognized the long odds, the uncertainties, but he also saw a glimmer of possibility. Cryonics wasn't about cheating death, it was about buying time, giving science a chance to catch up with his disease. He discussed his decision with his family, explaining his reasoning, hopes and fears. In the end, they respected his choice, his unwavering belief in the power of science and the allure of a future he so desperately wanted to see. The day Bob was cryopreserved was a somber one, a strange mix of grief and cautious optimism. His family gathered at the cryonics facility, their faces etched with a mixture of sadness and acceptance. They watched as technicians prepared Bob's body, the sterile environment a stark contrast to the warmth of his personality. It felt surreal, like a scene from a science fiction film, yet it was all too real. As the final procedures were completed and Bob's body was slowly lowered into the cryogenic storage tank, a wave of emotion swept over the room. Tears flowed freely, a release of pent-up grief and uncertainty. Yet, amidst the sadness there was a flicker of hope, a belief that perhaps, someday, they might see Bob again. The experience left an indelible mark on Bob's family, serving as a beacon of hope and a testament to his unwavering belief in the power of science. Bob's daughter Jane couldn't shake the image of her father being lowered into that icy chamber. The experience left her with a profound sense of loss but also a burning curiosity. She began researching cryonics extensively, delving into the science, the ethics, and the stories of others who had made the same choice as her father. What she discovered surprised her. Cryonics wasn't just a fringe movement populated by eccentric billionaires and science fiction enthusiasts. It was a diverse community of individuals from all walks of life, united by a belief in the power of technology and a desire to extend human lifespans. Jane felt compelled to share her father's story and educate others about cryonics. She became an advocate, speaking at conferences, writing articles, and engaging in online forums. Her message was simple: cryonics is not a guarantee, but it's a chance, a possibility, a flicker of hope in the face of mortality. The story of cryonics isn't just about scientists and futurists. It's also about ordinary people grappling with extraordinary circumstances. Susan, a loving mother of two, was diagnosed with a rare degenerative disease. The news hit her like a ton of bricks. Her world, once filled with the laughter of her children and the warmth of family dinners, suddenly turned cold and uncertain. Desperate for a lifeline, Susan stumbled upon cryonics. Could this be a way to cheat death? To be there for her children even after her body could no longer sustain her? The more she learned, the more it appealed to her. However, her family wasn't convinced. They urged Susan to focus on enjoying the time she had left, not clinging to false hope. Susan's story highlights a crucial aspect of cryonics: the emotional toll it takes on families. The decision to undergo cryopreservation is deeply personal, but its impact reverberates through families, sparking debates, challenging beliefs, and forcing loved ones to confront their own mortality. For Susan, the desire to leave a legacy for her children was paramount. She spent hours recording video messages, writing letters, and compiling photo albums. She wanted to ensure that even if her physical presence was gone, her essence, her love, her memories would live on. These acts of digital remembrance are becoming increasingly common among those who choose cryonics. They understand that waking up in a distant future, stripped of context and connections, could be a disorienting experience. They want to ensure that those they leave behind will be remembered, that their lives will have meaning even centuries from now. Not everyone facing a terminal illness is drawn to cryonics. David, a renowned musician, received a devastating diagnosis, a rare neurological disorder that would gradually rob him of his ability to play music, his one true passion. The news shattered him. Music was his lifeblood, his identity, his connection to the world. Cryonics was presented as an option, a chance to halt the progression of the disease and potentially regain his musical abilities in a future where a cure might exist. But David, after much soul-searching, declined. He realized that cryonics, even if successful, would mean leaving behind everything and everyone he held dear. It would mean waking up in a strange new world, stripped of his memories, his identity, his connection to the music that defined him. David chose to live out his remaining days on his own terms, embracing the present, cherishing the time he had left with his loved ones, and pouring his heart and soul into his music until his final breath. The concept of cryonics has also captured the imagination of artists, who use it as a springboard to explore themes of life, death, memory, and the passage of time. Anna, a talented sculptor, was immediately drawn to the visual symbolism of cryonics. The image of a human body suspended in time, frozen in a state of potential, resonated deeply with her. Anna's sculptures, often crafted from translucent materials that shimmered and refracted light, evoked a sense of ethereal beauty and haunting vulnerability. Her work invited viewers to contemplate the mysteries of life and death, to consider the possibilities and the uncertainties of a future shaped by technology. Diagnosed with a terminal illness, Anna poured her heart and soul into her art, using it as a way to process her emotions, to connect with others, and to leave behind a legacy that would outlive her physical presence. While cryonics has its proponents, it also has its fair share of critics. Alex, a bioethicist, was a vocal skeptic of cryonics. He argued that it was based on false hope, preying on the fears of the dying and offering them a technological fix for a fundamentally human experience. Alex believed that death was an integral part of life, a natural process that should be accepted, not feared. He also raised concerns about the societal implications of cryonics. Alex's arguments, while controversial, highlighted the ethical complexities of cryonics, and served as a reminder that technological advancements should not be pursued without careful consideration of their potential consequences for individuals and society as a whole. The future of cryonics remains uncertain. It hangs in the balance between scientific progress and ethical considerations, between the allure of extended lifespans and the profound implications of tampering with the natural order of life and death. Technological advancements in fields such as nanotechnology, biotechnology, and artificial intelligence could one day make the prospect of reviving cryopreserved individuals a reality. Imagine a future where microscopic machines can repair cellular damage, regenerate tissues, and even reverse the aging process. Such a future, however, raises profound ethical and philosophical questions. These are questions that will continue to be debated as cryonics evolves from a fringe science to a potentially transformative technology. The stories of those who choose cryonics offer a fascinating glimpse into the human psyche, our fears, our hopes, and our complex relationship with mortality. They remind us that death, though inevitable, is not an end, but a transition, a stepping stone into the unknown. Whether cryonics ultimately succeeds or fails is almost beside the point. What matters is the courage of those who embrace it, their willingness to challenge conventional thinking, and their unwavering belief in the power of science to push the boundaries of human experience. For in the end, it is our curiosity, our capacity for hope, and our relentless pursuit of knowledge that defines us as